Welcome back. You're watching Gravitas. In less than a week from now, ethnic Kurds in northern Iraq will have voted in a referendum for a separate state, notwithstanding the opposition from Baghdad and threats from some neighbors. Daniele Pagani tells you what's brewing in West Asia.
On September 25, more than 5 million Iraqi Kurds will decide if they want to abandon Iraq and become an independent nation. If that happens, it will be the first new state in West Asia after the founding of Israel. But a majority yes vote will not mean the end of the Kurds' long-standing struggle for independence. Rather, it will be the first step on a steep path. Iraqi Kurdistan enjoys considerable autonomy, but it is still part of Iraq, and it goes without saying that Baghdad is very much unlikely to let go of that region without a fight. It is rich in oil, and a standoff with Baghdad has gone on for 3 years over the Kurds exporting the oil and not sharing the revenues with Baghdad. The Iraqis, in return, have refused to give the Kurds their share of the national budget. The war against the Islamic State and the refugee crisis have hit Iraqi Kurdistan's finances very hard, leaving the small region in dire need of investments. This is a detail which did not go unnoticed in Moscow. The Russian energy giant Rosneft will be investing $1 billion in a new pipeline in Iraqi Kurdistan. Little wonder Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov was among the first in July to openly endorse the Kurdish referendum. Russia clearly sees advantage in expanding its presence in the region further. Iraq has other reasons to worry. Iraqi Kurdistan, in fact, borders Turkey, the country's main economic partner. Two-thirds of the Turkish investment in Iraq, nearly $320 million, passes through the Kurdish area. Independence will make goods more expensive. The referendum is not popular in the region, with many countries backing Baghdad. Kurds live scattered between Syria, Iran and Turkey. The dream of an independent Kurdistan is well alive in their hearts and minds. In Syria, Kurds have been fighting boots on the ground against the Islamic State, and they will perhaps be the first to request at least an autonomous region on the basis of the Iraqi Kurdistan referendum. In Turkey, the government has been fighting a decades-long war against the Kurds and their separatist organization. An eventual victory of the Iraqi Kurds could bolster their spirit and renew their people's support. Ankara, in fact, has called the referendum a threat to its national security and started a military drill on the Kurdish border. In Iran, too, Kurds have been waging war against the Iranian establishment. The US opposes the Kurdish referendum, fearing it will destabilize Iraq further. It is also concerned about the risk of a military confrontation between the Iraqi army or the Iran-backed popular mobilization units and the Kurdish forces, the Peshmerga. Only Israel is vocally endorsing the Kurdish referendum. Tel Aviv has backed the Kurds since the 60s. It was an alliance of convenience, Kurds and Jews together against the Arabs. Israel sees an independent Kurdistan as a very valuable ally against the Iranian expansionism.
Well, the demand by Kurds for an independent state is not new. So who stands where and what does it mean for the future of Iraq? Here's a report.
For decades, Kurds in northern Iraq have been wanting a separate state. In less than a week from now, they might have it.
وأهملت المكونات ولم تعطي حقوقنا أبدا عبر التاريخ ومن جميع الحكومات وخاصة بعد السقوط وبعد حقيقة سقوط النظام السابق 2003 فرح الشبك بأن سوف يكون له موطأ قدم في الحكومة الجديدة ولكن يؤسفنا جدا بغداد أيضا حقيقة صادرت حقوق الشبك.
والدول الإقليمية وحتى الدول العالمية الأخرى أن تستوعب هذا الحق وتساند الحق الشعب الكردي الذي على مر التاريخ تعرض للأشكال وأنواع التعذيب والإبادة والجينوسايد.
The move is being strongly contested by Baghdad. The parliament has trashed the referendum as unconstitutional. The Supreme Court has ordered its suspension. Neighbors have weighed in. Turkey, Syria and Iran are against the vote, with Ankara warning the Kurds of serious consequences.
Amerika'da da Sayın İbadi ile bir görüşmemiz ayrıca olacak. Ama gördüğümüz kadarıyla aynı istikamete bakıyoruz. O istikamet nedir? Irak'ın bölünmez bütünlüğüdür. Şu anda Kuzey Irak yerel yönetimi Irak'ın bölünmesine yönelik bir adım atıyor.
Israel, which has done business with the Kurds under the radar for many years, has supported the referendum. The US and Germany have opposed the vote. Why is the world interested in this fight for 40-odd thousand square kilometers of Iraqi territory? Because of oil. Northern Iraq, including the province of Kirkuk, which the Kurds have held since 2014, is home to much of the oil in Iraq, the second largest oil producer in the world. The formation of a separate state could fuel regional conflict and turf wars over who controls the crude. A UN-administered deal after the 1991 Gulf War gave the Kurds 17% of Saddam Hussein's oil revenues. In the years since, they've run a semi-autonomous system called the Kurdistan Regional Government in provinces including Duhok, Erbil, Suleimania and Halabja. They've built up an oil export business to the Mediterranean through Turkey and now want full control of the resources. The Kurds provisionally agreed to rejoin Iraq after the United States invasion in 2003, but post the pushback from Iraq, Kurdish President Masoud Barzani has pressed for autonomy. A similar attempt to hold a referendum in 2014 did not see the light of day. Now with 5 million Kurds, almost 20% of Iraq's population, eligible to vote, the outcome is a no-brainer. Bureau Report, WION.